Good afternoon. My name is Colonel John Bolduc, Johnbolduc with the Nebraska State Patrol. Thanks for coming here this afternoon. The Nebraska State Patrol and the Cedar County Sheriff's Office are investigating multiple crime scenes here in the city of Laurel. Before I get into what details that we can release and what we need from the public, let me first share a message for the people of Laurel. Incidents like this can shake a community, but I want to emphasize that we have an outstanding public safety team on scene here with a number of our partners to keep the community safe. Here are the details that we can share at this time. Just after 3 a.m. this morning, Cedar County 911 received a phone call about an explosion at a residence at 209 Elm Street here in Laurel. Fire crews responded to this home and located an individual inside. That individual was deceased. The Laurel Police Department, Cedar County Sheriff's Office, and Nebraska State Patrol responded to this first scene. As investigators were on the scene of the first residence, a second fire was reported a few blocks away at 503 Elm Street. Fire crews and law enforcement located 3 individuals deceased inside of that residence. Fire crews have worked diligently to put out the fire, but also to preserve evidence that may be located inside the home. Our investigators are processing that second scene at this time. In total, we have 4 individuals deceased at 2 different crime scenes about 3 blocks apart. Foul play is suspected in these deaths. We will not be releasing the identities of those involved at this time, as this investigation is in the very early stages. Here's what we need from the public. If anyone has information about this crime, these crimes, please contact the Nebraska State Patrol at 402-479-4921. Again, that's 402-479-4921. Shortly after the second fire was reported, law enforcement received a report that a silver sedan had been seen leaving the town of Laurel. This vehicle was reported westbound on Highway 20. It was reportedly driven by a black male. The report also stated the vehicle may have picked up a passenger before leaving town. Fire investigators believe that accelerants may have been used in both of these fires. They also believe that anyone who was inside the home at that time may have been burned. Therefore, it is possible that our suspect or suspects received burn injuries during these incidents. Additionally, we've been communicating with the local residents and businesses to see if there are any security camera footage that may be pertinent to this case. If anyone in Laurel or the surrounding areas has video that may be relevant, we are asking you to contact the Nebraska State Patrol at the number that I gave you previously. Again, any information can go to 402-479-4921. This has been a huge team effort here in Laurel today, and I want to thank the volunteer firefighters from Laurel, from Wayne, from Belden, and their work today under extremely difficult circumstances. I want to thank the State Fire Marshal for bringing his resources here, the Laurel Police Department, and of course Cedar County Sheriff Larry Caranda and his team, who have been outstanding on scene today, as well as the Cedar County Emergency Management Office, who has provided resources for the many folks who are working here today. This is a cooperative effort, but our most important partner in this case right now remains the public. Again, if anyone has information relating to these deaths, we ask you to contact us. Please understand that this investigation is in the very early stages. There's a lot of information that we will not be able to share, but we'd be happy to try and answer your questions at this time. Sir. It's too early in the investigation to talk about cause, motive, any of those things.
Do you believe that people died from the fire, or was there an incident preceding the fire?
In any of these incidents, we're going to rely on the medical examiner, the coroner, to do an autopsy and to steer us in the direction based on those causes of death. Sir.
You mentioned fire. There's a report of an explosion. Are we talking fires or explosions as well?
Well, the report from the public was an explosion followed by a fire, so we're operating on the information that we've received at this time. Sir.
Are the two incidents related?
Well, we have two fires with deceased people 3 blocks apart. It would be a stretch to say that there's no connection, but it's very early in the investigation, and we hope to find those answers in the coming days. Ma'am?
To follow that, are the victims related at all? Is there any connection with the victims in those instances?
Again, it's very early to determine that. That's a question that we will be trying to answer in the coming hours.
Are you calling this domestic? Is this a mass shooting? Can you describe?
We are not categorizing it as anything at this point. We have multiple crime scenes. We have 4 dead. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, and it's very early in this investigation.
Is there any other description of the suspect as far as looks or vehicle?
The only information that we received from the public was the description that I gave previously. Thank you. Sir.
Do you have any reports of gunfire at either of these locations?
The type of evidence that we're gathering and statements that we're getting from the public is going to go into the investigation, and some of those details we're just not able to release at this time. Sir.
I got a couple like alleged reports that the crime scene down there was so gruesome where some officials actually threw up. Is that the case?
Those are the kind of details that we're just not going to go into at this point. It's very early on. We haven't even debriefed all the first responders, so that'd be premature to talk about that. Sir?
How long do you plan on state patrol being?
Well, once the crime scenes have been fully processed and understanding that when there's fire involved, these are very complicated investigations. So we'll be here until we have collected all the evidence that we feel is necessary, but we will be on this case until we have it solved. We don't know when that will be.
Do you plan on staying here overnight?
We will have resources here on scene probably throughout the night. I'm sorry, did I miss one over here, ma'am?
Is the public in danger?
You know, I'm going to ask the sheriff to talk about that. This is his community, and I think he has some ideas about, what the community can do. Sheriff?
Cedar County Sheriff Larry Koranda, Koranda. To answer your question, the tight-knit community, about 1,000 people. Very safe community. 3 blocks apart, both crime scenes. Don't know for sure if people knew each other, but everybody knows everybody in this small community. I think people just need to be diligent. If they see something out of the ordinary or something they're not used to, please contact the State Patrol at the number the Colonel gave you, so investigators can follow up on those leads. But you're questioning about safe, like I said, if you see something out of the ordinary, please call it.
Let's go over here. Ma'am?
Just to clarify from the first crime scene, was the individual that was found deceased, were they inside or outside the home?
My understanding is they were found inside the home.
Have you guys talked to any witnesses? Have you heard from any witnesses who may have saw or heard any gunshots or anything?
So we are canvassing the entire community. Obviously, normally that is done from close in, and then we expand outward. And we're talking to everybody that we possibly can and gathering evidence. And of course, in an investigation like this, we don't want to talk about what information we do have and what we don't have, because ultimately we're going to go for a successful prosecution to whomever is responsible for these crimes. Sir.
This one is for the sheriff because it's specifically about the community of Laurel. Something like this can shake a community, and I know that the State Patrol kind of touched on it in what you read in the first part, but I want to hear from you. what do you think the community should do in reaction to this? How do you think they should handle this?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, Laurel here in Cedar County is a very safe community. It shakes everybody up. Not only the neighbors, but like I said, small community of 1,000 people, everybody knows everybody. It don't only affect the neighbors or somebody close by, proximity, but it also affects the EMS that responded, the fire that responded today, and are currently still working the fire. So it affects everybody. So yeah, grateful for what they're doing, because until their job's complete, investigation's not complete. So.
Sir.
Is the suggested lockdown over, or does that remain in place?
I believe right now we're leaving it up to each individual business or partner that did go into lockdown. Like I said, if somebody sees something out of the ordinary, please call that number that the Colonel gave.
When do you expect to release the names of the victims?
So normally we would wait until all family members have been notified, and that could take some time. I don't have a time frame on that. It's not likely that that will be today.
Maybe one or two more.
Did you already touch on how the fires may have started?
I didn't, and I'm unable to, because that will be part of the investigation. We know that we received a 911 call of an explosion, and when the first deputies arrived there, they found a house with active fire.
And then did you touch on where the suspect or suspects may be already?
I didn't, because that's an answer that if I knew, we'd be all over it. One more.
I spoke with a witness earlier who said he saw someone shoot and kill someone. I don't know if you guys had a chance to speak to that witness, but have you confirmed, did anyone see someone get shot and killed?
So that's the kind of detail, what we were learning from the public, we're just not able to discuss at this point. Last question, and then we're going to call it a wrap.
Who is the lead agency for follow-up questions, or what do we do going forward?
Thank you. So the Nebraska State Patrol will be the agency that will follow up, so you can coordinate with our colleague, Mr. Thomas, over here, and he will try to help get whatever answers you might need. We do not have another briefing scheduled at this point, but we will likely schedule something tomorrow when we know. We'll give you as much advance notice as we possibly can. And I'd like to thank you all for coming here tonight. And again, our hearts go out to the community of Laurel. As we talked about, it's a close-knit community, and we will do our very best to bring this case to a conclusion as soon as we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll give you the phone number again just to make sure you've got that. So the phone number is 402-479-4921. Has everybody got that one? Okay, 402-479-4921. Thank you.